Greetings and welcome back to smartwatchtics.com. Today we're going to be looking at something called an M1. It's coming to us from ROGBID and they're tagging it as the Tank M1. Here's the basic specs and we'll look at them in a little more detail once we open it up and show you. This is a rather massive watch and it's beautiful. Multiple colors, contours, everything. Got a user's manual we'll be showing you. The watch itself is sitting in here and check it out. That beautiful bright blue matching band and exquisite bezel. And you can get it from Banggood. Banggood sent this one to us. Again, it's the ROGBID Tank M1. It's got 5 ATM waterproofing, swimming capable, all for about $33 or so. That's a super good price. It's like Black Friday, Cyber Monday time, so you're seeing the best prices. When you watch this, it may be higher, but check the show notes. Use our link to get over there, and hopefully we'll have a good discount coupon for you. What has it got? Well, lots of different features. I like it they're dividing this out and giving us the highlights right now. We got, again, a 5 ATM IP68 waterproof military-grade materials all in this one. It's got an aluminum alloy frame and facing ring, more skin-friendly. No sweat option on this one. You've got Bluetooth calling and stable, the newest technology in this one for a good solid Bluetooth calling, and you can play music through it as well. Accurate health monitors, fitness activities. There's the smart reminders built into it. A battery life with a 600 milliamp hour battery. That's huge. That's what they usually put in those fancy Android watches. It's going to give you 75 days standby and about 15 days heavy use, 3 days, okay. 100 plus sports modes, and it's got 100 plus motion modes that will allow it to automatically start recording your activities. Running through the specs, you're using Bluetooth 5.3. Fit is the tethering app for this one, it says. All these different languages are supported. You've got hi-fi Bluetooth calling and all of the things that go with that. It does do blood oxygen, blood pressure, sleep monitoring, all of that. The sports modes are here, and you've got a basic pedometer as well built into this one. In addition, music player, camera control, alarm clocks, weather. You'll see all of those. The waterproofing, waterproof noise reduction microphone in this one. Interesting. The different sensors. It's a 1.45-inch IPS, not AMOLED on this one, but good and bright anyway. 360 by 360, and there's all the other information we've already told you. So let's dive deeper. In the box, we have, of course, the 2-pin charging connector for this one. I'd like to say it's a standard, but you know what? There's no standard in these. Some of them are close, some are far. The magnetic couplers go one way or the other, so you don't want to mix them up. This is super strong. It's a relatively weighty watch, and the connector strength in the magnet is good and strong to hold it. Let's let you take a quick look at the body of the watch here. The unusual, the bands themselves are not replaceable. They're firm in here, and they remind me of the old original days of the Android watches where the sensors were inside here for Bluetooth and whatnot, and GPS. They're really stiff, really thick. So it wraps around your wrist, and it's really made for somebody with a medium size or larger wrist, as you can tell. You've got 4 different buttons on this one. Power, a back button, AI, which is actually just calls up your assistant, Google or Siri, and a sport button. But we'll get into this when we turn it on. Let's do a last thing of taking a look at the user's manual for the model M1, basic descriptor. Now, we see something interesting. Do you see what is incongruent with what we just read in the specs? Yeah. The manual says Fit Cloud Pro, and the specs said Fit as the tethering app. It's Fit Cloud Pro, guys. You got More pictures here showing your audio Bluetooth pairing if you want to stream music and do your calls. The main interface and all kinds of different watch faces available from their store. Operation menu. They've got caller alert, contacts. This is how you set up the phone system. Your call logs, stopwatch, calculator, calendar. Yeah, we'll see all these as we page through it. So we'll just skip through. I'll let you freeze frame this if you want to on YouTube and make a screenshot or whatever you'd like to do if you need access to the manual in the future. Sometimes these are hard to come by as a PDF or something on the web. And if you lose your manual, well, you know, we always lose our manuals. Okay, they're eagerly awaiting your comments and feedback, and that's the English manual. Now we'll play with the watch. 4 buttons, that's unusual on a watch, but we've got it on this one. We're going to tap the power button, hold it for a moment, and it should boot right up. In the meantime, hello. Look at this, you got G-shish, ARC. And then here you got shock resistant. I missed those when I showed you that on the bezel. There's no rotating bezel. That would be wild if you had a multifaceted bezel that rotated with the body. But it doesn't. It just integrated really nicely within it. None of the knobs... Oh, yeah, they do. I was going to say none of the knobs turn to do anything, but look at that. It can actually change the watch faces with the upper right one. And they're really beautiful, detailed, smart faces on a smart watch. You got power levels and step count and date and time and day of the week and yeah, analog, digital. A really nice collection of watches, and they've done artistic integration to match the colors of these watches as well. And again, you can download, like this is a downloaded one from the store that features these. So let's get on with it. When we swipe down, you get into overall controls. This is brightness. We're at full brightness right now. I can lower it way down like this. A pretty decent range. We'll run the review at, what do you think, about there? We like to make it not too bright because the colors wash out on the watch and you don't see the richness of it. You get into all of your settings here. There's menu style. We're doing the text style, but you have 4 different kinds, bubbles and circles and other kinds of ways of showing the different menu display. And speaking of watch display, you've got the watch faces where you can switch them like this, which is the same as pressing and holding and switching them if you want to. You've got in display as well the overall brightness and screen time, which gives you from like 5 seconds to 30 seconds of on time. There's no always on display on this because it's not an AMOLED screen. That raise your wrist to see the time. It'll let you show it as briefly as 2 seconds or as long as 6 after you do that. And of course, the longer you make it, the more it's going to eat away at your battery. But with a 600 milliamp hour battery, that's not really an issue. So I tend to set them at the highest on everything. Then in the battery, you shows your current power and you have a power savings mode. Vibration intensity is pretty straightforward. Get into that. You can soft, strong. Not much difference I'm feeling between those or off. The QR code to download your app. Side key settings. So you have these so that you can set the single click to return or do any of these other functions if you want to. And there's a lot of them. Voice assistant, a lot of people will use it for. Ladies might discreetly use it for their period tracking information. And then there's the long press. In this case, it's a contact person, but you can change it to whatever you'd like. I'll put it on stopwatch. What the heck? Just for something different. And I believe that's this one. Back. Long press. No, this one. All of your contacts and long press. That should give you the shutdown menu. All right, not that one. How about this one? Long press. Nothing. Short press is all of your sporting activity. Whoops, which is going to go into. All right, AI, press it. Bluetooth disconnected. Interesting. That's for your artificial intelligence. And long press is nothing. So not really sure what that side key is supposed to control. but it's in there as an option. You got password control on this one because you do have NFC in here, the business cards. You can do payments in China. It's not really set up for like Google payment or any of that stuff outside of China. And then your overall system shut down, reset, your system info that it's the M1, right? And that's everything there, which you also got by long pressing that button. You with me so far? All right. This is going to be when you're Bluetooth connected to the phone, your Find Your Phone feature. Let's try that again. There you go. Because now I have the phone tethered to the watch so we can see more of this. Info we showed you. You got a really nice strong flashlight for outdoor use or in the dark. And then, of course, Do Not Disturb is available. Your power level and other options along with time are here. There's no other screens for this one, just that one. And then you're back to your watch face. Swipe to the right, you get the little pull-out tab that shows you your temperature, Fahrenheit, centigrade, wherever you've set it for, date and time. This will let you go in and start making a Bluetooth phone call, and your most recent apps are shown there as well. Swiping up, of course, is messages sent from your phone that you've authorized to be pushed to the watch. And finally, going over this way, we get our step count information for the day, calories burned, distance traveled, the 24-hour step count every hour, and your last 7 days worth of steps count information is on this one as well, with an average included. Another one, you get into heart rate now. This is going to instantly go into taking your heart rate using the green sensors in the back. It shows you your 24-hour heart rate in this one and your overall average. So pretty sophisticated on biometrics. Now here's last night's sleep time, and I got something interesting to point out for you on this. Here's a 7-day sleep time. All right, it doesn't show the full chart on the watch, but it does on the app. Let me tell you, that 8 hours was broken up with a 2-hour, almost a 2-hour window that I was awake, but it was during the night. A lot of these watches will break that up and only show you the first part of sleep or the last part of sleep, but they don't give you everything. I like this watch because it gives you, it knows when you went to sleep, and it knows when you woke up, and it knows basically that you should be asleep, but you're up for some reasons, and it doesn't interrupt the tracking. Really nice. Here's your forecast, current conditions, rain 75 degrees, and date it's been taken. The remote music player, now this is a good place we can test out the speaker. I'll play some music for you. All right, here's some music set up on YouTube on my phone, paired to the watch, Bluetooth playing through the watch, sounds like this. Nice and clean. That's the speaker. Easy to just cover it and mute it if you want to while you have your watch on. Like that. And of course you can change to a different track, forward and backward, change the volume as well. And then after the music player, you've got your activities listed in here. And there's many of them. This is just a small subset. There's plenty more from the app itself that you can load into here and arrange the ones that you really like. And then a plus sign where you can take these out, rearrange them, or add to them. And I've gone ahead and put everything in there so you can see all of the different ones that are available for you. It doesn't loop around, so you have to hit the top button to bring you back to the watch face itself. Now, tapping the top button gets us into all of our apps. Your phone, contacts, call records, voice assistant are all the basic, Bluetooth calling capabilities. And the volume and everything, sound will be just like what you heard with the music. You've got your step count stuff, the different workouts and workout records, if you've done any, will be shown here as well as, of course, in the app. Then you get heart rate, sleep, and it does do blood pressure. It doesn't have a card for that, but it does do the blood pressure, and you can scroll down and see your last 7 readings and an average of all of those. That's kind of nice. And it does blood oxygen readings. And when it starts, I don't know if you could see it, it's using the red diode technology, which is more advanced than the green as far as for blood oxygen. And of course, it get the last 7 days record of your blood oxygen readings as well. Messages and weather, ladies, your cycle information, if you've got that set up and turned on in the app, will show up here, tell you where you are. The music, you've got a breath training, inhale, exhale type of an exercise, and I try to run through these so you can know whether or not it vibrates, and it did. It vibrated there, and it vibrated again. Now, it's not having that expanding, contracting icon or visual. It's just telling you breathe in, breathe out. And at this point, it's a really fast rate. I think the display is there. It's just really, really soft in the background. But it works. Let's get out of there, and you can do it for 1 or 2 minutes, but I don't see that you can change that rate of breathing. Then you got your stopwatch. We can start this. Let's test it to see if we can pause it. We can leave it. We come back into it, and it's still where we paused it. That just stops it and starts it. So when it's running, there's no way to get out of it. You have to be in pause mode, and then you can exit it. But it will hold that that time and continue when you come back into it, which is nice that it doesn't zero it out each time. Countdown timers are supported. You can set alarm clocks, of course, with the watch. This is a collection code for all of your different payment type things. Again, you'll need a password on the watch, and it ties to systems that are working in China. Business Card now is using the NFC to move your social media information back and forth with people by an NFC connection. You got a calendar, basic, simple calendar in this one that you can switch the days and whatnot. You've got a simple calculator in here with good-sized digits, it looks like. Give you a little sample of it. Then you got Find Your Phone, which we already did, Remote Camera, and Overall Settings, which we've already looked at. So now let's switch over to the app. Before I start on the app, I just wanted to respond. A few of you guys have asked if these are smart rings, because you always see my rings on in the camera. And yeah, they really are. They're two different brands. This is the original Aura ring. Actually, it's a 3rd generation. It's the one they're currently selling right now. And we've done extensive reviews of all of these rings. This one in particular, with their app, with the integration with the computer, that you can sort your data and compare different things and trends. This is the RingCon ring, and it likewise is a smart ring. And there's one more on the market currently called Circular, and there's a circular ring coming out, so we'll be reviewing that as well. So if you're interested in these rings, check our website, smartwatchtics.com, and you can take a look at them, especially now that both Google and Samsung are working on smart rings. So I'm predicting that 2024 and 5 are probably going to be the year of the ring as we migrate more away from the watch technology and toward rings where the data is actually looked at on your phone. Very handy, very easy, and these will just be your traditional watches for telling time and a few things, maybe Bluetooth calling and stuff. But yes, these are smart rings to answer the question. FitCloud Pro is the app that's being used. We've reviewed this tons of times because it's used in tons of tethering apps for different phones. I've already, of course, downloaded it, installed it, set up an account, and paired it with the watch itself, the M1, and there it's connected, shows you the battery level. The home page gives you all the basic information. Your step count information is here. Tap it, you get that same chart we saw on the watch of all of your step count per hour, and then broken down with different categories here. You can look at day, week, or month on here. Last night's sleep time, and this, guys, is what I was talking about. See that big white area awake? From 4 to 5:58, almost 2 hours. I was up, and I was, and this is right, and went back to sleep, and since I'd gone to sleep, it continued. My deep and REM and light, and, well, no REM, but light and deep sleep were calculated as well. And the actual times that I went to bed and woke up are in here too. So it's really nice that it does capture all of that in one setting. For example, my fancy Fitbit Sense breaks it up into 2 sections, and because of that, the second one, which was only a couple of hours, didn't give any reasonable, meaningful data because they claim it was too short, like a nap. Yeah, but this one did it. Heart rate, here we go. You get in here, you get by date your heart rate continuous chart shown with high, average, and lowest. You can change the day here if you want to. And you can take an instantaneous reading remotely. So if you're not wearing the watch but someone else is, you can check on the heart rate right here from the app itself. Blood pressure, same thing. You can do it right from here. You've got all of your different readings. Average, lowest. Now, interesting, this high area here, and you see it kind of jumping a little higher here. I went in, and you'll see later in the app, you can put in your personal average or typical heart rate. And mine's like 125 over something 85. So I put that in, and then the numbers that were down here lower adjusted to be closer to what my actual heart blood pressure is normally. And that gives it a little bit better overall accuracy. If it's accurate at all, you need to test these things against your calibrated cuff to make sure that the readings are matching. Okay, and then these are previous days. From previous watches even, because they all stay in here. And if you switch watches, it keeps the data from before. Blood oxygen, same thing. I can start it remotely. I can get the continuous, well, this one's only giving me 1. Let's go back a previous day. 1 dot there. Interesting. All right, it's not giving us continuous, but just when you take individual readings for blood oxygen. Then we've got, that's it, health measurement. Press that, and it'll do all of these measurements all at once in about 90 seconds or so if you want a quick update on everything. Over to device, basic information, the wallet for the things that you can use for money transactions, the business cards for NFC exchange, and first I've seen in a app now, Tethering app, Twitter has been officially changed to X. So they've done an update on this one. Push notifications, you can set up everything or the things that you're interested in selectively. Alarms and reminders, and your dial library we'll get back to. Weather reports you can do, all of these other things, your heart rate measurements, find your watch, whether you're left or right, 12, 24 hours, and so forth. So basic stuff. And the dial library is where you get to see all the different faces that are available for this watch. And they've got a really nice, deep, rich library of available faces. When you pick one out to install, you activate it, and then it'll download it to your watch, and it'll show up in My Dial. There's the one I have installed. This is a fun one where the hour hand is analog and the minute is digital. So if you already know what hour you're on, you can just take a quick glance and see the minute, and you know what minute of the hour you're at. If you don't know what hour it is, you might want to get yourself checked out. Me, this is you. This is where you have your basic information. I generally register as a female, and that way if it's got period tracking information in it, it'll activate. As if oftentimes if you register as a male, you don't get that. Women's health then shows up. Yeah, you got to set it up and open your calendar. Your exercise goals and units are all in here. You can tie it with Google Fit and Health Connect now, and We Run as well. And overall settings, cloud syncing, and running in the background and the basic stuff. And you can log out of your overall account to Fit Cloud Pro there if you want to. And that's pretty much it for the app. So here it is. The ROGBID Tank M1 really makes a statement. Very large, very thick. And because of that, it really would stand out. It's a 5 ATM waterproof watch, special loudspeaker, you heard that, and special waterproof microphone capability in this one. 650 milliamp hour battery. It's a monster, and 4 buttons on it. If it's right for you, this one would be pretty cool. It's about $33 or so Again, if the price has gone up by the time you click over to Banggood using a link in our show notes, check to see if we've got a coupon discount for you. I'm impressed. This is a nice one. It's definitely different than a lot of them we've seen, both in its shape and its layout. A lot of attention to detail on this one. Even the little stars in the corners. Pretty impressive. That's it for today, gang. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.